Hi students, welcome to my channel, Department of Technical Education, Telangana. My name is T. Rajshekhar, working as a lecturer in Civil Engineering, SRS Government Polytechnic, Sircilla. So today we are going to see the topic on different engineering departments and organizational structure. So this is from the chapter of organizational introduction and organizational aspects. So let us see the objectives. On completion of this period, you would be able to know the different engineering departments of the government. So you will be going to learn what are the engineering departments are there in the government sector, and you will be going to learn the organizational structure of the engineering departments also. Okay, so you will be seeing the how the engineering the flow chart will be there, what is the monitoring, and how the engineers will be monitored in the construction sites, whether as in the government departments or in the private departments also you will be learn. Okay, so actually why these engineering departments are very important, because for each sector we are having the engineering departments. So the name itself engineering department is known as just like civil, electrical, mechanical. Okay, so these three branches were called the engineering departments in the government sector. So mainly all public related works are deals by these three engineering departments. So in these engineering departments we will have the engineers, managers. Okay, so from lower level to higher level, and you can see here in the previous class that what we have discussed is the aspects to be considered for preliminary planning are various projects. So this is we have seen in the previous classes, and preliminary planning you have know that is for initiating any proposal for a project, it is the duty of engineering department to carry out preliminary planning. Okay, so whatever we are planning, that is in the preliminary, the for initiating. So we have seen the phases of construction project. So in that we have seen the initiation, and we have seen the planning and executing and performance and monitoring, and last one is closure of the project. So that all stages were implemented in the engineering departments. Okay, so any proposal of a project that should be approved or it should be granted by the engineering department. Okay, so here we are having some of the various engineering departments. So this is very important topic. So first of all we are having there are two types of governments. One is central government and the another one is state government. So under central government we are having Indian Railways, Central Public Works Department, Military Engineering Services, Border Roads, etc. So these are the some of the four examples we have given in the engineering department. So this central government is it is handling the all central government works. So Indian Railways is the very largest network, as you know everyone, and central public works departments also related with the all the central works just like bridges or any road works, it will be looking this department. And military engineering services, it also looks the our engineering services works just like the border forces, okay, and military services. Okay, and border roads, etc., it will be looking the national highways and border roads. Okay, so these are the central government departments which are having in the various. And let us see the under state government. So under state government we are having the certain departments, that is first one irrigation department, and the second one is public health department, and the third one is panchayat raj engineering department, and the fourth one is roads and buildings, we will call it as R&B department, and the fifth one rural water supply department. So these are the five departments, and the sixth one is tribal welfare engineering department, etc. So these six departments are very important departments in the state government. So these six departments will handle the government works in all over India. Okay. So for this state government we will have in every state these departments will be there. Six departments are will be considered in the every state, and under central government the total central government works will be done. So coming to the irrigation department, what is the irrigation department? Here in the irrigation departments it will be look after the just like water related works. Water related works are nothing but canals and irrigation works, that is nothing but related to the dams, okay, and just like bridges, aqueducts, okay, so and canal passage waterways. So it will be looking the engineering department of irrigation department. And the next is public health department. So this public health department deals with the medical related, so just like medicines, hospitals and government hospitals managing, okay, so their public health emergency services, it will be look after the public health. And next is panchayat raj engineering department. So this is a department, it will be looking after the in the villages whatever the funds are sending to the from the government to the people, just like agricultural and just like minimum quantities of any government uh, scrutinizing purposes, okay, in the panchayat raj secretaries will be there, okay, gram panchayat will be there. So these all will be deals by the panchayat raj engineering department. And the next is roads and buildings department. So this is the another important department. So it will be looking after the statewide roads and statewide buildings which are related national highways, major district roads, okay, and village roads. So that will be looking after the road works and buildings also, just like government buildings which are there, okay, so the government schemes which are established, that this department will be looking after. And the next one is rural water supply. So this department is supplying the water to the total in the state, okay, how the water should be supplied within the prescribed schemes, okay, so tap water or any other lifting the water from the dams, okay, the certain government projects which are there, that is known as rural water supply. So okay, and the last one is tribal welfare engineering department. So here this department will look after the tribal people who are living in the forest areas. So for them they will be providing the societies and groups, so the all communication facilities will be provided by the tribal welfare engineering department, okay. So these six departments are under the state government. So now let us see Government of India undertaking public sector units departments. So the central government which is there, the public sector departments are there. That is first one NHPC. So it is called National Hydro Power Corporation. So it is related with the power corporation and it will generate the power or it will supply the power also. So hydro means the coal which is used, the coal plus water is nothing but hydro power corporation. The next one NTPC, National Thermal Power Corporation. So this is also called thermal power ration. Here also we will use coal plus water, okay, coal plus water which is called thermal power plant. Here also the power will be produced very large quantity and it will be supplied to the minimum quantity of states, okay. And the next one is BSNL. It is called Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited. So it is a telephone uh, public sector company. So it provides the total network to the all over India, okay. And the next one ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation. It produces the oil and natural gas to the power plants or as in the factories and to the petrol bunks and everywhere, okay. So this is the largest industry in the central. Okay, and the next one, SAIL, Steel Authority of India Limited. Here the steel will be produced in the this company. Okay, the steel will be provided with the quantity and it will be supplied to the all over India. So that's why we will call Steel Authority of India Limited. And the next one is HPCL. So it is Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited. So it produces the petrol from the underground facilities, whereas it transfers the petrol to the all over the India to the every states. Okay. So these all departments or public sector units are very important in the central government. And some of the various engineering departments discussed in the previous slides are responsible for the executing construction projects. So up to now what we have seen, the various engineering departments are, they are useful for the executing construction projects only. So now let us see the organizational structure in the state government engineering departments like irrigation, roads and buildings, etc. So now let us see the what is the flow chart and how it will be following the one by one in the organized structure in the state government. Let us see. So let us see the now organizational structure of engineering department. So this is a very important topic. So first of all, the minister is the head of the department for the every department. Okay, he is the minister and he is the authority for the every department. So for example, you would see the irrigation department is there. So for that irrigation department, the minister is the in charge, and under the minister, the secretary will be there. So IAS cadre, that means Indian Administrative Service cadre secretary will be appointed under the minister. Okay, so he will be looking the minister works and everything and appointment also. So under the minister and secretary, the chief engineer will be there. So he will be looking the department works in the state government. So this chief engineer, he is a well experienced person and he will be appointed by the engineers Indian Engineering Services exam. That means IES. So the IES exams will be conducted by the UPSC, Union Public Service Commission. So from that, this chief engineer will be selected. Okay, so he have the full-fledged powers to appoint any person or he can remove any person. Okay, so under the chief engineer, we will have the superintendent engineer, that is circle 1, and superintendent engineer circle 2, superintendent engineer circle 3. So what is this circle 1, circle 2, circle 3? So these are the divisions. In a state we have so many divisions. Okay, so coming to the any of the state you take, so in one state you can see Telangana or in Andhra Pradesh or in Karnataka. So for every state they will have the divisions, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. So that is called circle 1, 2, 3. Okay, and after the superintendent engineer, you can see the executive engineer will be there. So before going to the executive engineer, the superintendent engineer qualification will be having the graduate level or higher qualification. So this superintendent engineer also will be appointed by the public service commissions, which is conducted by the state government. Okay, so he will have also the full powers to control the works in the construction sites. And under the superintendent engineer, the executive engineers will be there. So here executive engineers are also, there are three persons, 1, 2 and 3. So these are also the divisions which are divided. Okay, so this executive engineer also appointed by the public service commission examination. Okay, And then after deputy executive engineer will be there, DEE, that is also subdivision 1, subdivision 2 and subdivision 3. So from division 1 it is divided to the subdivision. Okay. Now from division 2 it is divided to the subdivision 2, and from division 3 it is divided into the subdivision 3. So at last we will have the assistant executive engineers, that is section 1, section 2 and section 3. So these AWs will be under the any one of the deputy executive engineer, that is from 1, 2 or 3. So here it is stated that from 3 the assistant executive engineers are there, and here the DE also divisional deputy executive engineer also for division 1, it will be taken from the any one of the division 1, that is here it is taken executive engineer division 1. So here what are the works and what are their duties, let us going to see in the upcoming topic now. Okay, so this is a very important flow chart for your examination also. So this is a cadre who will be the minister, secretary, chief engineer, SC, executive engineer, DE, assistant executive engineer. Okay, and the next is administrative setup in engineering departments. So how this administrative setup will be department? So just like now what I have shown, minister, under minister you can see secretary. Okay, so in these secretaries also there are two types, one is principal secretary and another one is assistant secretary, and another secretary engineer in chief, that is chief engineer, and chief engineer you can see superintendent engineer. Okay, under superintendent engineer executive engineer, and under executive engineer divisional executive engineer, and after that AW or A. So this is a flow chart, and what is the minister will be doing here? So one minister for each department. Okay, so we have seen the 6 departments in the our one state. So that is, you can see here what are the departments are there, just like here. So I have shown here you there are 6 departments. So what are the departments are there? So that is nothing but in the government takes all the important decisions in the government. Okay, these minister one for one department for one minister. For example, you take irrigation department. For irrigation one minister will be there. For roads and department another minister will be there. For Panchayat Raj department another minister. So that each and every department, every minister will be there. They will be looking the only their departmental works. Okay. So here the minister is the authority. He is the final person. Whatever to sanction any budget or to take any appointment or anything. Okay, so he will take all important decisions in the government department, and he will be allocates budget, considers transfers and promotions of chief engineers. So he is the in charge for the chief engineers promotions, whether they want to get the promotions for their experience and they want to go from one place to another place, they want to ask the transfers, and if any budget is required for the projects, so he will be allotting the budget. So nothing but minister is the key point for the successful running of the department persons. Okay, and next is secretary. So what are the secretary works will be there? So an IAS officer heads the department on behalf of the government in the state secretariat. So this secretary person is also, he is a helpful person for the minister. So all works cannot see by the minister. So this secretary will be helping to the minister as a personal secretary. Okay. So this personal secretary will be looking the all the departmental works whether they are correct or not, and he will be identified and he will be sending to the minister for the approval of budgets, transfers and everything. Okay, and next one, engineer in chief. So this engineer in chief is the another authority person. He will be under the category of secretary. So this engineering chief is the heads the engineering department. He will be looking after the engineering department. He is the head of the department. Okay. So for engineers, he is the head. He will be looking the engineers. Okay. So for engineers also, all reports will be getting to near the chief engineer only, because he will be looking after the everything work in the state, and he is responsible for all activities in the department. Just like whatever the works are going in the department, he will be having the idea. Okay. And next is reports to secretary to government and the minister concerned. So whatever the reports or any quantities estimates which are prepared by the engineers, that report will be sent to the engineering chief, and engineering chief have should be approved, and it should be sent to the government for the final approval. So when the final approval gets, the budgets will be allotted and the work will be done successfully. Okay. So this is the engineering chief is the main category, and the next is chief engineer. So he is also the main role person in the engineering department. So this person should be control the whole the department in the circle one and the divisions also. Okay. So here group of chief engineers works under engineering chief. So one engineer in chief, under them the chief engineers will be working on. That means 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 members, the chief engineers will be working under him. Okay. So these chief engineers having the controlling and powers, and they can also sanction the amount or any budget, and they can also transfer the under their category persons. Okay. And they can also give the proposals to the government. And the next is superintendent engineer. So superintendent engineer is the SE. So he is the heads the circle in the state. So this superintendent engineer is the head of the circle in the state. He will be looking the site construction works, tendering works, bills, estimates. Okay. So whatever the works are going in the constructions, and he will be inspecting the sites also. So by the inspecting of sites, what are the works are going on, he will be known. And he will be checking the quality standards also, and he will be checking the specifications of the site condition. Okay. And he will be knowing the reinforcement details also. So well known technical person will be there under the SC. Okay. Superintendent engineering is the authority of the sites. So he will be monitoring the all construction sites. And next, reports to the chief engineer. So whatever the work is going on, he should be giving the daily report to the chief engineer. So this report will be, chief engineer will be sent to the engineering chief, and that engineering chief will be sent to the secretary, and from secretary it will be going to the minister. So this is the process. This flow chart is running from lower level to higher level, and from higher level to lower level. So all these are flow chart is runs from the smoothly without disturbing the anyone. And executive engineers works under SC. So under superintendent engineer, we are having the executive engineers. So these executive engineers are also having the certain sanction amount they can do. Okay. And they can give some of the transfers or any other legal obligations, and they will also be checking the quantities and estimates detailed items of works. Okay. So they will be also going the inspection of the construction sites, and they should give the report to the SC, that is superintendent engineer. Okay. And the next is executive engineer. So executive engineer heads the division. Circle is divided into the division. So one division is divided into the different divisions, 1 2 3. Okay. So that means different division offices will be there. Okay. Per district we will have 2 divisions. Okay. And for state we are having so many divisions like that. So circles will be divided into the divisions. So in divisions the works will be going on. And the next is he will be reports to the SE. So just what I have said, that is he should be giving the reporting to the superintending engineer, because whatever the works are going on he should be informed to the his superiority, so that the works will be monitoring very easily and the report will be sent to the minister also. So these executive engineers who are there, they will be appointed by the public service commissions, and they will be well known regarding the works. Suppose if you take any civil engineering department or any mechanical department, so they should be well known regarding the civil engineering works. Okay, so it is whether a irrigation works, or whether it is a roads and buildings works, or whether it is a any other bridge work, so they should be known about that work. Okay, so they will be well experienced in the all items. Okay, and they will be identifying the certain works in the construction, so that they can give the report to the their higher authorities, and very responsible post in the entire department. So in a state one department, the very important post is called executive engineer. So he is the center of the person between the minister and at the lower down assistant engineer. Okay, so this executive engineer post is very important post, and he will have the all authorities and powers under his jurisdiction. Okay, so he will be handling the construction sites. And the next is deputy executive engineer, which is also called DEE. Okay, so he is the under the category of executive division, and he is the heads the subdivisions, and he should be report to the executive engineer. So here when they get promotion, this DEE people will become EE. Okay, so one by one, that means based on experience the persons will be going to the higher levels, they will be getting the promotions, transfers, everything. Okay, so deputy executive engineer is nothing but the heads the subdivisions, and he should be report to the executive engineer. And next one is assistant executive engineer. So this assistant executive engineer is also the heads the section and also called as section officer. So we will call him as section officer. So this section officer will look after the works, whatever the works are there, government works or any private related works are there. So he will be authorized by his signature, and he will be checking the all bills and estimates and quantities, and what are the any problems are there in the bills. So he will be finalized and identified, he will be sending to the his superiority, and he will be reporting to the DE. So this is the compulsory. Okay, so every person or every authority should inform, they should give the information to their superiors. So this is nothing but the flowchart will be running in the state government. So not only in the one state, in all over the India, in all state governments, this is the flowchart will be there. Okay, for every departments the members will be there. And the next is assisted by the work inspectors. So the work also will be assisted by the work inspectors. Okay, so the whatever the construction works are going in the site, they should be checked very from starting stage to the final stage. What is the cost of the project, when it will be completed, what is the status of the project, and how many persons are working in the construction site, who is the in charge of the site, who is the project manager, how many engineers are there, how many supervisors are there, how many laborers are coming to the site. So everything should be checked by the assistant executive engineer, and he should be check the contractor bills. Okay, and he should be checking the day labor wages also, whether they are getting the correct amount or not. Okay, so these are also will be handled by the assistant executive engineer. So whatever the government is giving to the the amount of the people or in the contractor workers, the amount is correctly reaching or not, he have to check it. Okay, and the final is last, assistant engineer. So he is the final of the any site construction. He is also called as section officer. So this AE person will also called as section officer in the assistant engineer category. So this post also will be created or will be appointed by the Public Service Commission exam. Okay, so for this qualification also a diploma or BTech should be there. Okay, so this assistant engineer, he will also have the experience in construction works or any other different works. Okay, so he will be mandatory and he should be study the drawings and he should be take the quantities. Okay, and section officers with diploma in engineering, what I have told now. So diploma in engineering is the qualification for the AE. Okay, so for each and every post we are having the qualification here. So he should be reports to the DE, divisional executive engineer. So it is a process here from one by one. He have to, this flowchart will be going on because this is a process in the state government. One should inform to another, another should inform to other. So these reports and daily reports will be going to the minister levels, and because of the successful completion of the projects. Okay, so you can see here for every post they have the minimum qualification. So for assistant engineer the diploma in engineering is enough, and you can see whether as in the assistant executive engineer you should have compulsory BTech graduation. So you should have BTech graduation in any department for in any engineering. For example, in construction department you need the civil engineering. In mechanical you need the mechanical BTech. Okay, and in coming to the divisional executive engineers you need the MTech qualification. Okay, so MTech qualification or on BTech qualification, with the help of experience you will become the DE. Okay, and next you will EE, executive engineer also should have the qualification of MTech. So based on experience person the executive engineer will be become. Okay, and after the executive engineer you can see superintendent engineer. So this will up to this stage, if you want to become, we should have so many years of experience in the field. So that experience will be added here and we will become the superintendent engineer. And finally the chief engineer and engineer in chief should have the doctorate qualification. So they should be right UPSC civil services exam only we will get this post. Until not, based on experience we will not get this post. Okay, so this is the process of the our engineering departments. So in engineering department all these persons are working in a good manner. So the whatever the industries or companies are there, so they are getting the works from this flow chart only they will be sanctioning the amount. So minister is the first category for the every related works, and after the secretary. So secretary is also an IAS officer. He will also return by the public service commission's examination. So group 1 cadre or group 2. Okay, so IAS officer is the group 1 cadre. So by becoming the collector, so they will be appointing as the secretaries to the ministers. So these secretaries also will be going on promotions to the another departments. And engineering in chief also responsible for all the activities in the department. So this engineering chief will be looking the every type of works in the constructions. Okay, he is the main authority person. So he have the some powers also, just like transfers to employees, and he can give the certain sanction amount within the time for the project running. Okay, he can give the any other contractor services. Okay, with the contractor he can give claim the any other bills. Okay, he can check the bills of the certain contractors also, and you can see the drawings which we are as per the design or not. Okay, and they will be coming in the inspection in the construction sites in a week or in a month. Okay, so this engineering chief is a person who have the so many powers in the constructions. So under the minister, whatever the engineering chief is given the report, that will be the final to the minister. Okay. So this chief engineer is also, so under the engineering chief, these chief engineers will have 4 or 5 or 10 members based on experience. So these chief engineers will be looking the each department. Okay. In department, the assistant chief engineer will be there. Okay, engineering chief will be there. So these chief engineers will be checking the government works smoothly, and superintendent engineer is also the head of the circle instead. So when the engineering chief engineers are there, so these superintendent engineers will be controlling the sites in their jurisdiction. So in each state we are having the so many departments. So in these departments, all the engineers are selected by the examinations only. Okay. So but based on experience, they will be going to the promotion levels. So A will become AW, AEW will become D, D will become E, so E will become SE. So like that, based on experience and terms, so they will get the promotions. And when they require the transfers also from one state to another state, they should take the permission from the engineering chief. Okay, because why the transfer is required, what is the purpose of the transfer, where the employee has to go, so how much experience did he have, so that everything will be checked by the concerned engineering chief and as per the minister level also. And here the superintendent engineer, chief engineer, divisional engineer, they will be conducting the meetings weekly or daily regarding the status of the works, and they will be finalizing the amount which is related to the construction projects and salaries of the employees. Okay, and any leaves or any transfers or any bill sanctions and contractor bills, so tenders. Okay, any other tender documents which are there, they will be checking that and they will be finalizing that. Okay, so if any tender has to be get in the advertisement, so the SE superintendent engineer or chief engineer have the powers. So whatever the projects are there, they will be giving a tender. Okay, in the tender the amount will be finalized and it will be provided to the lower categories and in the advertisements also. And they will be finalizing whoever given the tenders from the contractors, they will be selected, the superintendent engineer, chief engineer and executive engineer. So they will be selecting the tenders and projects and they will be starting the projects. So for these projects they need the employees, wages, workers, everything. Okay, so that's why here executive engineers will work under the superintending engineer. So, but executive engineer is a very important post, as we have said. So, in each division circle, we are having so many departments. So, in division category levels, we will have the higher authorities. But coming to the lower category circles, you can see the state wise it will be there. Okay, in district wise, the circles offices will be there, and coming to the towns or in cities the divisions will be there. Okay, so these in the metropolitan cities we have the so many divisions, but coming to the villages and towns we will have very less divisions. Okay, so this executive engineer, DE, they are all works under the under categories, they reporting the works, and assistant engineer is the authority of the total site and he will be assisted by the work inspectors. Okay, so now in this class we have discussed today engineering departments in central government, engineering departments in state government, engineering departments in government India undertakings. So these are the very important topics in this class. Okay, and administrative setup in state government departments. So these are the topics we have discussed today. So remember the flow chart, it is very important. So that flow chart is useful for the competitive examinations also. So these engineering departments we should keep in the mind as an engineer. So whether we get state government job or central government job, those departments should be remembered. Okay. So let us see the another topic in the next class upcoming. So thank you. Have a nice day.